What's happening? When you get this bad a shape after being off so long, even while tapering, it's very disheartening, scary. And then when things get worse that, aren't related, like my visual issues, neurological stuff, you ask yourself, well, if it's getting this bad now, what's going to happen within the next few years when I'm still tapering? I can barely handle how it is now. Ooh. Almost boggles my mind when people tell me that, they've had a breakdown and they end up in the hospital for it. I've had at least 50 breakdowns and I can't go to the hospital. I can't do nothing for it. I just have to deal with it. Mental health for people like us, it's a fucking disaster because we can't get help. People have a breakdown, they go to the hospital and they feel better afterwards. They probably get put on a quick dose of something and get off of it a little bit later, call it a day. And here I am, suffering fucking daily. The day was already rough to begin with. I mean, I went out for work today. I was dizzy as fuck, and not in the good way, in a very weird neurological dizziness. Just totally disoriented. Visual snow's gotten worse. And in my days and years and years and years of having visual snow, when it gets worse, it never gets better. The only time it gets a little better is if I've had a ocular migraine and it gets worse for the time being, and then usually a couple months later it gets a little better. That was the only time. But this is like the true blue visual snow that I see all the time getting worse. And what bugs me the most is that I'm going to go to the fucking doctor. And just like benzo bullshit and everything else, it's not something that's curable. So I know I won't get an answer. And that again is disheartening. It's hard to keep a level head. Some days I just want shit to be done. Just be done. Find out I have a disease or something where I'm just going to go downhill. Because I can't imagine doing this for years to come. If I didn't have the neurological visual shit, things would be a lot fucking easier. At least I could see the world in front of me. But what's going to happen to me in the future? If my girlfriend doesn't stay with me and I'm alone, I'm forced to work with two major problems. One visual issue that's neurological that doctors don't understand and don't care about, and disability would never care about. I'd have to be fucking homeless before I could get disability. And then the bento bullshit, which the doctors don't know about, don't give a shit about. So I'm literally a walking fucking zombie trying to work and pay bills until I die. What the fuck is that? The depression is just getting worse because of my visual stuff. It's like, it's always bad. But what's really bad is when I go take my dog out and I see everything, and that seeing shit is way worse. Visually, everything's worse. I can't see anything clearly anymore. And I'm not talking blurry. That's a whole different issue I've got. But I'm not worried about that. But this static and all the major symptoms that come along with it, it's getting worse. It's always something neurological that there's nothing I can get help for. And it's one thing if I don't get help for it, but I wish they would recognize it as something serious, because at some point I won't be able to do a thing about it. And I won't be able to drive. I won't be able to do shit. And I'll probably end up being alone. And at some point I won't be able to work. Trying to taper this stuff and dealing with all this has just been absolute hell. I don't know what to do. I'm always wondering what's going to happen with me and my girlfriend. I'm going to have a good talk with my girlfriend. I need to know that she's going to be there for me. I'm doing the best I can. If she can't be there for me, she's going to have to tell me soon, so I can start moving on. Because if there's a time to move on, it would be now and not fucking later. Try to get a reasonably priced apartment and fucking try to just live day by day and taper and be sick and suffer. Seriously, I have no idea how I'm going to fucking do it. I have no idea. It's like I had a break last night where I felt a little better from the time I did my video yesterday till about 8, so 4 hours. And then my blood sugar completely crashed, and my brain started going crazy. And that came in till today with the major fog, and I just don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I'm running my own business. I've got so many things to do, which keep me busy, and that's awesome. Because sitting around doing nothing sucks. The thing about life is that I've always really enjoyed life in doing things and trying to feel good and all that stuff. But the problem is life has just given me fucking trouble and made me fight just to be happy. And I'm at a point where I feel like I'm just pulling at strings just to get through a day. I was even a year ago, I was way better. 2 years ago, I was better than this. I just don't see, because I doubled my Remeron cut once. And I get why it fucked me up, but it shouldn't have fucked me up as much as it did. And I took 7 months of not tapering. What a fucking waste of time, you know? Being on this fucking medicine I should have never been prescribed. Seven months of not tapering. Almost a fucking year. And then finally, I decided to taper from 1.2 to 1.1, which is fucking garbage. Still almost 10%, but still, it's so tiny. And I suffer, and it's been almost 2 months. Now, don't get me wrong, I got really sick too, but flu or something. I don't know what it was, but that was brutal. But I'm just getting crushed. There's so many things I want out of life. And I don't see how I'm going to do them. Because I physically and emotionally can't. But as long as I'm making fucking money. Hello. Jimmy. Fucking A. How you doing? I'm only on here bitching, so I'm in no mood today. I've been better. There's just so much that's happened. I'm at a point that I just cannot. I don't know how to pretend that everything's okay still. It's been 9 months since I fucked up the Remeron cut and got really sick from that. And I didn't taper again for 7 months, trying to heal the cut that I did. And I still have the after effects of that, and whatever. I knew I would. It probably wouldn't go away for years to come, but whatever. And then I tapered from 1.2 to 1.1 almost 2 months ago. And between that and coming down with the major flu or whatever the fuck it wasn't COVID. Swore it was, but it wasn't. And that and my visual snow issue being so intense now, I just feel like I'm fucking falling apart. It's like one of those times that doesn't feel like it's actually going to get any better because it's been so long. And the visual snow issue realistically never gets better. When that gets bad, it stays bad. My depression is just getting out of control because I'm so fucking exhausted of I've started new projects and I've done this and that to distract. I'm trying to get out for work, and there's so many things I want to be doing and I can't fucking do. And then I start getting paranoid about what am I going to do when this shit gets worse and worse and worse? Because honestly, tapering is just going to get worse. The lower I get, the worse it's going to get. And if my visual issue gets worse, at some point, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. None of my fucking problems are problems that doctors give a fuck about, or problems that disability would give a fuck about. Plus, I'd have to pretty much be homeless and hopeless to even get disability. Because they'd look at my bank account and be like, oh, you make money. Well, that's not fucking fair. I'm busting my balls here, suffering to do it. So I have to be completely disabled in order to get anything from the government. And it's always one person that tells me, oh, you can get disability. And it's usually somebody that's a stay-at-home, somebody that has somebody else working. I don't have anybody else. I have my girlfriend. She helps right now. But honestly, I don't know how long that's going to last before I end up having to move into a place by myself and pay all the bills myself. Mind you, I still pay the electric here. I still pay the cable. I still pay half the rent. Still pay my car. I mean, I was doing so much better. Well, how could I get it? With what? Benzo withdrawal? They don't even believe that. With what? Visual snow? They don't even understand what that is. They don't care. And at this point, they would just look at my bank account and be like, well, you're making money, so what do you need SSI for? I mean, there's no way. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. At this point, we're getting along, but I can tell it's sinking back to what it was before. So I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. All I know is I'm going to have a good talk with her, because as much as I don't want her to leave, I need to know that she's going to fucking be there to support me. She's already left me once, and that gives me this PTSD type fucking thing, thinking that, what's going to happen next? It's fucking stupid. Yeah, you can ask. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm making money and I don't want to stay home. That's the thing. I don't want to stay home. I want to do my job because I like what I do. But if things get worse, well, damn, Jimmy, really? I never meet anybody that understands what visual snow is. So no, I mean, she never really left. We broke up, and it was this thing. She was going to plan on leaving, but she didn't mess around with anybody. So it's it's still, we came back healthy. We started doing therapy and stuff, but now it's she doesn't really come by me anymore. And it's we're kind of losing that aspect of what we were trying to build. So I'm just going to have to talk to her. Hi, Alexandra. All right, guys, don't take advantage of this. But Jimmy, I'm going to give you my my email. Mind you, after this video, I'm deleting this video for this very reason, because I'll get a million emails for years to come. I will answer that, Wade, in just a moment, okay? So, Jimmy, copy that right now because I'm going to remove the message in a minute. Tell me when you got it. And let's communicate after, outside of this. Got it. Okay. Thanks. So Wade, visual snow is, in short, and I'm going to give you the long version, but in short, first, it's where you see, like an old TV set, you see the static, on an off channel or whatever. That's what I see everywhere. It's moving. Remember, you look into it as a kid and you can see it moving around and shit, all that static. That's my vision. Now, what comes with that is the major static. You see trails like acid, like you've taken acid. You see after images, both positive and negative. So if I look at something, I'll see it for about 10 seconds after I look away. It's really just maybe not 10 seconds all the time. I see ghosting, shadows, lava lamp type situation. It's like I'm tripping on acid all the time. But it's like I've never even said it this way before, but I did. I was thinking about this earlier. To me, it's like, how like microscopes have slides? Imagine a really big slide that has static on it, like thick static on it. And you just push it into your head. So basically, it's like a film of static. So it's not like it's like I can't see. I just have to look through the static and movement and shadows and sprites and things moving around like fucking crazy. I don't know what HPPD is. Hold on, let me just Google real quick. You took the time to ask, so I'm going to take the time to look. No, not really. It's visual snow. If you just look up visual snow, I suppose it could be like that, but it's its own thing. Visual snow is very real, and there's a lot of research now being done in the UK about it. You could actually go to Ion Vision, EYIonvision.com or .org is a good place to look. It's a new thing, or I've had it for as long as I can remember. But most people, it's not progressive, but for me, it's very progressive, and it's gotten worse over the years. Yeah, that's the after images. So I mean that helps. That makes the brain fog, the fucking migraine, to sensitivity to lights, to fucking dizziness, to vertigo, to depersonalization. All that shit came with that. I've always had DPDR, but not like it is now because of the drugs. Way worse. And originally I got on benzos to see if it helped with the visual snow. Yeah, it's kind of like a kaleidoscope, but it's not as it's a little different. But yeah, I hear a lot of people say it like that, but mine's not exactly like that. But I'm going December 7th. Although I've talked to many doctors, I've talked to neurologists. Hey, see, what's up? I've talked to neurologists, and none of them care. So December 7th, I've got my first. I mean, I've had visual snow for as long as I can remember, but it was very tolerable. But now, December 7th, I got my first ophthalmologist. Is that what they're called? Appointment. And I'm going to tell him what I know. And I'm going to tell him I've never had a proper diagnosis, but I'm going to tell him it's fucking debilitating as fuck, and it's making my life complete hell. And one of these days, I'm going to have to, along with all my other issues, which I'm going to write them all down, along with all my other issues, I'm going to have to try to get SSI just to see, I don't know, good, AC. You don't want to have that issue. It's utterly ridiculous. But yeah, Jimmy, message me anytime. We've known each other for a long time, so it'd be cool to have communication outside of this. Even if you just want to say hi, whatever. But see, the problem is, I know, like, it blocks my vision 100%, but I mean, it's not like I can't see. So that's the thing. I can still see. I don't know what's consistent of what's blocking my vision and not. I mean, visuals, you can still see, but it's like films in front of your vision. But it's like, that's the trouble with eye tests. I can pass the eye test because I can still see. Ugh. Stressing myself out. And with the wave that I've been in lately and everything I've just been in, it's been a fucking mess. Been a mess. Thinking I have to taper this for years to come now because I can barely taper it now. And that makes all these problems worse. Like, once I'm off the fucking pills, which won't be for a long fucking time, my body calms down, my brain calms down. Visual snow will, like, I'll be able to tolerate it. The sensory won't be as strong. It'll be there, but it won't, like, when I feel better, it's not as hard to deal with. But at this point, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I've had MRIs, and they see nothing wrong. I would have sworn something else was wrong. I mean, I went to doctors for years, with adding that I had visual snow in it, but MRIs never showed anything. But I'm going to that ophthalmologist on the 7th, which is a pretty big deal for me. Even though I know he can't cure visual snow because there is no cure for it, I need to get this going and at least talk to him about it. No, I know, AC, I know. It's like, what do you do? It's like, I have to work and I have to taper. Thanks, Jimmy. When I fucked up, I realized I went too fast and I was trying to rush. And it was partially because I didn't want my girlfriend, she wants me off the medication. And I fucked up. I've completely fucked up. And I fucked myself up. My nervous system got way worse. It's harder to taper. It's harder to live. Yeah, Alexandra. I mean, I've talked to doctors for years about it. I mean, realistically, when I got on benzos was part of the reason I got on for visual snow and anxiety, to see if it would help any of it. Sadly to know that all that stuff made it way worse. Thanks, dude. I know you're in the UK. There's actually really great research being done in the UK for visual snow right now, and I can't be a part of it because I'm in the US. But yeah, take care and thanks for popping in. It's always good to see you. But I'll talk to the doctor on the 7th, and I'm going to be serious about it. I'm going to be like, this is how I see 24/7. I can see, but it's not right because my perception is always off. Ooh, that might help. Talking about perception, I better jot that down because my perception is always off. Later on. I'm going to cut out of here in a few. I always try to make it a half hour. Black Friday sales were complete garbage this year. It's not like I go anywhere, but usually online. Maybe Cyber Monday will do better. Everything I want. It's not. Oh my God. You, Alexander, you got that. It is way worse at night. It's funny because it's black and white static that I see. Some people see it in color, but I see mine in black and white. But I can't see shit at night. Ooh, I'm going to write that down too because that would make for disabling issue. It's like if it's really bright, I mean, I've got the light sensitivity from the drugs anyway, but I'm sure the visual snow doesn't help, but you know. Let's see. What's tonight? Peripheral vision's okay. I see a lot of quick things in my peripheral, though. No, I do. It's definitely a DPDR thing. I've always had that, even before all the drugs, so I know it wasn't necessarily... I mean, the drugs make it all worse. Don't get me wrong. The Remeron, and after I got off benzos, it always made it way worse. But I've had DPDR for 20 years, and you know, it was way worse then. It got progressive to a point, but I've also had DPDR about the same time I had visual snow, so I'm sure it's related to a point. But yeah, I'll watch TV, and if I'm having a worse day, things will distort. I always say I'm very unstable that day. And I try to explain that to my girlfriend once in a while. I'll be like, I'm very unstable. My head is very unstable today. Things are distorting. And if, you know, people just think it's because I'm like I'm doing drugs or something. It could be. I mean, I get eye pressure. So I'm on Remeron. So yeah, you just have to let them pass. Definitely. You know what, Jimmy? Ahead of this point, I mean, I'll never forget the hell I went through when I got ripped off the benzos. But that certainly isn't lasting as long as what I'm going through now. I would take getting ripped off benzos again and just healing from that. Oh, no, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. It's both hell, but this sucks. But yeah, after you're right. After if you have less sleep, or yeah, you're definitely not alone. Oh, thank you. Be kind. I care about you too. But Remeron has been an absolute torture for me that I can't explain to anybody. And a lot of times I don't even know if my problem's always Remeron. Like sometimes I think something else is going on. Remeron is like an SSRI. It's I forgot what it's called. It's not an SSRI. Jimmy will probably pop in and say it, but it is like that. It does uptake serotonin. But it's like it's an NASSA. It's an antidepressant alpha 2 receptor antagonist. I love how it says may treat fibromyalgia. Oh yeah, that's why I have it now. Stupid. Oh, I can't believe it says major depressive disorder. It's just absolute bullshit. And it's actually a major antihistamine as well. which completely fucks your histamine receptors, so you can't eat anything. I'm only on 1.1 right now, milligrams. I've come all the way down. No, I was just reading that. I don't know shit. I'm on the internet looking right now. But I've also been on it for a while, so I know a little bit about it. But they originally wanted me on 15 milligrams. I took 7.5 milligrams, and I tapered all the way down to 1.2. And then I'm not even going to go through how I fucked it up for a while. But then I updosed a little bit, which was absolutely the dumbest thing I did. But I've accepted that, so whatever. And now I'm on 1.1 milligrams. And the lower I get on it is the harder it is to taper, because it just gets harder. No, don't go any higher. I mean, that drug gave me a lot of issues that I was blaming on benzos. So I thought all my problem was benzos for a long time, and it was mostly Remeron. Well, it was Remeron. My nervous system got completely fucked by benzos, so Remeron did a fucking ton of damage. But you do what's best for you, you know. But yeah, Jimmy, I'm going to, message me sometime soon. And I'd like to have more information about your roommate with the SSI. I mean, it would be something I might be able to work out in the future. At some point, I'm hoping I never have to, but, Oh, don't worry about me. Oh, don't do that. I'm trying to stay positive. This is just a rough day. So, and since I have so long to go, that's what gets in my head, It gets in my head and freaks me out. It makes me feel like it's never going to end. I always said I just want this shit to be done with before I'm 50. I'm 45 now. So. All right, you guys. I'm gonna jump off here. Some of you I haven't seen in a while, so it's pretty cool to see you. And thanks for all the support. Today I really needed it. Ugh. It's probably gonna be like that for a little bit. Until whatever my body and brain is deciding to do right now. I don't know why it is. I get it, I was sick and stuff, but fuck, man. So, give you guys a minute. Cool, Jimmy. You take care. I'm gonna go watch some TV. Take care, Alexandra. We have a good evening. Gary, you too. AC, you take care. Be kind, you take care. Who else is on here today? Yeah, whatever. You all take care. Cindy, you're late. I'm out of here. You all have a good evening, and I will see you very soon, I'm sure. Later on.